Alright, so as you can see here, this is not Alberta. I made it most of the way to Alberta. I made it out to Winnipeg. When I went to start the truck in the morning, it would move, but it wouldn't do anything close to a full rotation. So I thought, well, it's hydrolocked. So coolant got into one of the cylinders, so it either a dropped liner or a cracked head, and it's probably a cracked head. So I checked the coolant reservoir. It was dry, so that's not a good sign. I bumped the starter a couple times and it actually managed to push the coolant out to where it would fire. Started it up, it ran good. And then as I was leaving, there was a truck sitting with the hood open, so I stopped to see if the guy needed anything, because you're standing by the turbo. He had blown one of the turbo clamps here, so I had one, gave it to him, put it on. But I shut the truck off for about 5 minutes. And when I fired it up, it was just white smoke everywhere, and the blow-by tube was just blowing coolant out. So dropped the trailer, and then filled a bunch of jugs with water and bobtailed home. I never shut it off again. So it was about 2150 kilometers back home. Never had any problems other than adding water. The oil still looks good. But we will know more when we pull the plug out of the oil pan. It sat here for about 10 hours now. I washed it off. I had to leave the motor running to wash it, but we have a pressure washer that goes to like 90 degrees, so that was hot enough where I was comfortable washing the motor down. It didn't really steam up much at all. Well, I mean, 90 degree water is pretty steamy, but okay, so this is how far it's going to go today. The head's off, number 6 liner is out, pan's off obviously. So what we did, just obviously I didn't shut it off once I knew that there was coolant getting in to one of the cylinders. So once I got it in the shop, I checked the oil level right away, and it was still about the better part of a gallon under the full. Came back in the morning and it was up to the full, so we knew there was coolant making its way into the oil pan. So drained off the water. There was a couple liters of water. And another thing I'll show you is the valve covers. So one way to check if you're starting to have problems with coolant, you can see it's a little milky in here. That one, it may be a little more so. It just looks like cream colored. That's from coolant and oil mixing. So this had just started. You know, sometimes I'll pull them off and it'll just be look like cottage cheese in here. But this had just started mixing with the oil. The oil that came out of the motor was clean. Here's just a bunch of stuff, the jake heads, which I had pulled off earlier and rebuilt. These are the fasteners for the jake heads. You have to get the washers on in the right order. The right order is the smaller diameter one goes on first, then the jake head, and then the nut and large washer. Here's the oil pump. Have not even looked at it yet. And on this side of the motor, so you have to pull the air compressor off because it's in the way to get all your fuel lines off and to get to the fuel line for the number 1 nozzle. And then the power steering and this fuel filter just rolled out of the way. I could have brought a light to show you, but the reality is all the pistons are good and the liners are pretty good. They're starting to show a bit of wear, but the reality is it's just about time it got rebuilt. So there's nothing even interesting to see inside the block. There's a bit of pitting at the bottom, right about here on that beveled edge that guides in your O-rings. Still have to pull the oil cooler. So all the rockers look good. You know, there's like a wee little bit of, you can tell they're not new, but there's nothing wrong with them whatsoever. Push rods are good. We have not pulled out the cam followers yet. The head bolts here, they're a mixed bag of new style and old style cat logos. But we're getting all new head bolts. These are these are the stands for the Jake head. The fuel nozzles are all remans, all cat remans. The nozzles here, they were all fine. Everything in this motor was fine. It's a pretty lame rebuild, really. Nothing came apart. This is the number 3 main. There's a little bit. So you get the most wear on the downward force. So when there's ignition, your top bearing takes most of the stress on the rod, and the bottom bearing on the main. So you can see it's starting to show some wear. And the rod, as far as wear goes, there's a wee bit. The lower one for the rod, there's some pitting, which isn't unheard of in a mechanical cat. That is fairly common. Actually, this will be here's the number 6 upper. I haven't cleaned it, but you can see there's just one line across. And on the lower, again, in exactly the same spot, is that pitting. Haven't got the rest of them out. Not expecting any surprises. It's all going to get new pistons and sleeves anyway. I guess we could look at the piston, but again, there's really, you know, what are you gonna say about that, really? It's just an old piston. The head, the gasket's still on here. The head does not have any cracks. Still has all cat valves in it. There's a bit of chalky buildup there. So what failed is this. I'll try to get a good... But that's what failed. You can see it's missing about 1/2 inch of the fire ring and maybe 3 inches of head gasket material right there. And then it was getting into that head bolt hole. You can see that one is rusty. It could be oily,
you know, they're often oily, but this one was rusty and eventually got so bad that coolant started running back into the cylinder when it was shut off, and that's why it was hydrolocked on me. So we'll get the head tested, but visually there's nothing wrong with it. And it is still a old square port head, and I would like to keep my square port head because I don't want to have to buy a manifold and everything else. So here's where your oil galleries go through. You're in here. And of course your push rods are all through here. And so where it had burned through is in here, but it didn't damage the spacer plate at all. Sometimes it'll have a bit of sign there, but like I said, nothing big and fancy happened to it. It just eventually got tired, and that's the best thing. It was a really good motor, ran really nice. It's just the way it goes. And, you know, going by the condition of the bearings. Oh, I should show you this liner. This is how it is sitting in the motor, this being the front. And you can see how cavitated that liner is from electrolysis. So it is high time the liners came out of there anyway. So all in all, that head gasket gave up at the perfect time. It gave up when there was wear on the bearings, wear on the liners. Liners need replaced. But instead of some big catastrophic failure, taking out the crank or anything like that, it let go, ripped it apart, throw all new parts in, and it'll be good for another 1,000,000 miles. So thanks for watching.